Okay, in this presentation, what we're going to do is, essentially, this presentation is going to be about how to alter or fix up or change uh, our histogram presentation. So, for example, let's just say, for argument's sake, I decided I'm going to put in a bit more sense, or I want to change the font actually. And may I go to something like that, Ravi. I'm not sure what Ravi is. Click OK on that. Just change the plot a bit, the font a bit, and so on. You can make it italic. There we go. And also you can actually change some of the text there. So just down here you can just change the text. You can sort of say nice histogram of what we're talking about, high, the high variable. Okay. This is the data set called GE. So you can change the font size as well. Let's make it really big. 20. No, that's probably too big. 18, let's say. There we go. That's grand. So that's just how you might sort of alter the top. You can also click on over here. You might be able to do something very similar there. Just click on frequency down there. You can do something very similar, or high. Rather than just having high, you can actually just sort of say something about what the variable is. So that's grand. So what we're going to do now is actually see how the box plot is arranged. So for example, in the last video we looked at particular columns and sort of what they said. So what I'm going to do is actually go to double click on one, and what I'm going to do here, so I just sort of right clicked on it, double clicked on it, and I'm going to click on edit X scale. So this is actually just going to sort of completely change the base of our histogram. That's the plan here. So first off, what I'm going to do is actually go to sort of automatic tick marks. You can actually change it to certain positions. I'm actually going to leave it alone actually, but you can do that. You change the maximum and minimum location. Okay, you can have it sort of put in automatically. You can transpose X and Y. So there's a couple of things you can do there. I'll let you mess around with that. There's nothing really important there. Show tick marks. Now the binning is the important one here. So first off, what I'm going to do is change it from midpoint to cut point. So for example, I'm just going to go back, close that down for a second. So this interval here, or I'll pick the tallest one over here. So this is actually it's actually sort of based around, it sort of says 36, so it's indicated by 36, but it is actually anything in this interval is for it. This interval is for values between 35 and 37. So let's just sort of change that. Let's just say rather than an end point, we want a cutoff point. Okay. Now, so just see what happens there. It actually would give us cutoff points. So for example, it's changed around now slightly. We got a slightly different plot. The bins are slightly different. Rather than 35 to 37, we have a bin that goes from 36 to 38. Okay. Now, so let's do some more things here. Suppose I don't want to have so many bins or intervals. What I might do is actually reduce the number. It automatically picks out a number of intervals for me, but let's just say I'm going to dial it down to about 5. Well, 5 is probably too few. 6. Actually, that's too few again. I'll stick to 7. Okay. So I'm going to click on that. Okay, see what happens. Now I have 5 bins. Okay. Now, or sorry, 7 bins, and it's sort of nicely set up in terms of, for example, this bin here corresponds to any value between 10 and 15. This bin here corresponds to values between 15 and 20, and so on until we get to up at the top there. Bins, the last bin there, which has 5 values, it is for values between 40 and 45. Great. Now, let's go back here to edit X scale. So I'm just going to, essentially how I get this menu up is I just click on one of these points here, for example 30, and go to edit X scale, and that comes up there. Now, binning, I think that's pretty much everything I need to say about binning. So it sort of will give us mid cutoff points there, automatically generated from when I click 7. So if I was to click 8 here, what might happen here is it would just slightly adjust accordingly. Okay. Oops. It would adjust accordingly to different. You see, they're slightly different now. 11, 15, 19, and so on. I'll go back to 7 there. Attributes, lines are automatic, tick orientation, yeah, nothing really interesting there. Labels, again, you can actually put in some labels and fonts and so on. Alignment, text, yeah, there's just really nothing really interesting there. The main thing actually is binning, edit scale, and binning. I think that's the one key thing you have to decide upon. I think, can we change the color? I think we can. Copy graph. No, not like that. Edit bars. Sorry, edit bars. I think we can change the color here. Oh, it's probably in there else somewhere. Not a major issue. Again, now something that might be of interest is that we actually be able to export it. So essentially, what we could do there is just copy and graph, or append graph to report, or send graph to Microsoft Word, or just send it out altogether. Okay, I'm just going to pause that. I'm just going to I'm not happy about my lack of checking how to change the color, so I'm just going to pause it a second and double check. Oh, not worth it. I'm going to leave the video there. It's nearly goes on for, we've been in this video for a while, so I'm going to leave the video and call it a day. So that's how we alter histograms.